Hello, welcome to today's What's in the Workshop. I've just accidentally deleted my intro video, so you're going to have to imagine me standing here in front of this trailer. What you see here is a pair of scissor lifts to form a vehicle ramp, which are going to sit either side of my pit. They're missing most of the hydraulics, or the pipes are broken, the pump is three-phase, and there's absolutely no control switches whatsoever, and none of the 24-volt control panel. So I've got my work cut out here to get this all working, repaired, and installed somehow in my workshop. Right, these are really heavy, so I can't even turn it onto its side to get the pipes off. So what I'm going to do is lift up the bed, and then I should be able to get to the pipes, and I can give it a bit of a pressure wash off. These have been stored outside for a couple of years. It's full of mud and mess, and before I get them in the garage I want to get that clean. I'll paint them once they're in situ, but yeah, I can give it a bit of an inspection as well. I can see we've got a bent piece here, but not the end of the world to fix that one. But yes, let's get it up in the air. Alright, that's better. Can see what we're doing now. Quite a lot of mess and filth in there. Yeah, that needs cleaning out. So, you can see there's been, I don't want to put my hands in too much, there's been a weld repair on that one. But there's no cracks, it seems to be holding, but probably once we've got this all installed I'll linish that back, weld it again, make sure it's super safe. I'll probably reinforce it. And what else we got? The ram looking good on the ram there, no pitting on it because it's been down. Now this side wasn't quite all the way down, so I don't know if one of the lockers has been in. Probably has, yeah, because you can see the lockers engaging there. I'm probably going to need to put some air into this to be able to let it back down again. That's a possibility, but I can make it at least so it's going to be safe for me to work on it now if the lockers do engage when I come back down. You can see the pipes now that I need to get to. That shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Let's get it cleaned up. Right, got it all cleaned off. However, a few problems. These here were just sat in there. You can probably see in here there's a bolt sticking up, and you can see that union on the back of the ram is bent at a precarious angle. That's because there's nothing supporting the pivot on the back of the ram. For some reason they're unbolted, so I'm going to try and chock this so that it's definitely safe, lower it down a bit onto some axle stands, and then I'll try and get that bolted back together before we let it down again. Yeah, not ideal, but they are wedged in there and it is still on the thing as well. So I got some bits missing. See what I mean now about this fitting being bent and that line down there. I've got two of these, but I believe I should have four. Should be something either side of that for it to sit in. I'm not entirely sure how it bolts. I probably need to jack up that one to see how it goes. But I need to kind of figure out for now how it goes so I can put something temporary in there to stop that damaging itself anymore. So I might just have to stick a trolley jack under the edge of that one to jack it up to see what it looks like. It's hard to see and I really don't want to stick my fingers in there, but actually I think that it just goes up against this edge. I think it's one piece and it just pivots on the edge, so you might be okay. Got it. Got the lever in there, levered it back up in place. I put plenty of grease behind it as well. So now I'm just going to go and clean these up, and then I think they go in there like that, and then bolted down obviously. Right, see how we get on. Right, got these cleaned up, ready to go back on. I know the ram's not exactly clean, but there's only so much I can do about that where it is really. Looks like they should have been threaded into that, but the thread's pulled. So I'm going to put, there is room underneath there to get nuts, so I'm going to put a couple of nylock nuts underneath, and hopefully that'll sort that out. Well, we've got another problem. I've just taken that fitting that was bent out of there. The thread's damaged, and as you can see the end of that is bent, so that won't seal on there. So I need to clean up the thread and I need to flat back that end. So I think the bolt I've just put in probably needs to come back out because I'm going to have to pop that cylinder up. so I can do a bit of work on that. Great. Okay, back out again. And you can see these threads are not pretty, but got my VSP taps ready, so see if we can recover it. Phew, looks like we got away with the thread. So now I've just got to sort out this damaged end. Right, all squared off. Pretty confident that won't leak. I just put a little bit of tube on there for now, just to keep that all clean and sealed while I'm getting new pipes made. So now back to where I was, putting this back together. Okay, all back together. I'm still not certain this is exactly right. I mean, it looks like there should be something on that edge, but until I've got the other one up, I don't know if there's anything missing or not. But it will certainly hold it for now in the right place. So I can get it in the garage, all piped up, new pipes, lift it up like this to put the new pipes in, and then once it's on the locks I can change things if needs be. But I think there's a good chance now, if I let it down, that the locks will now work. Now that's in place, so let's see what happens. Right, let it down. Well, has to go a long way, I think, before the locks cut in. Okay, the locks are now locked in at that height. Okay. So I'm going to put some air up to it, or wedge something in there to get it to go all the way down. I'll do that. Alright, let's see if these air lockers work. Yay! Excellent. I'm absolutely not going to put my head under while it's floating in the air on the crane, but that's not quite going to work. So when those have failed, when the thread has pulled, those bolts have been pushed down and they've bent out that bottom plate, so it won't sit flat on the floor. So I've just put nuts in there, not knowing from on top what the situation is, but that's not going to work. So I need to change those. I think I'm going to have to change the thread in that plate for an M10, tap it out so that they grip again, which is not going to be easy. Well, that is very much upside down. Hopefully I can do what I need to do from this side to fix that. What I'm thinking, if I get those bolts back out, if I can tap a thread in this, once I've bent that back, then that should give me a decent amount of meat. Or I'd go out to M10, but I'd like to tap from this side, obviously, because I can't do it from the other. There we go. That should work. Now I can get to both sides. Top side, and I can get to the underside. Phew. Right, that's now repaired. So I need to get this back the right way around and somehow into the garage. First of all, I'll jack that one up, do the same, wash that one off and hope that that one doesn't need any repair. Well, got it all clean. This one is unfortunately broken too, but in a different way. The ram is all okay on this one, and it doesn't look like there is anything else to it. It does literally just hold on with those little bits. I've repaired the other one okay, fine. But this end, you've got that bar across the back there. This end is broken off. In itself not a big problem, but see the sides have bent out slightly, so that piece is no longer in the runner up there, which is why we've got a ratchet strap around at the moment. Not a big deal to fix, but I think that's better once I've got all everything in and the hydraulics sorted. Then I can just put the table up to a nice height and take the top off and fix it and put it back. So for now I'll just leave that and then go on and get it in place. Okay, that has severely overloaded my small trailer, my little motorbike trailer, but I'm hoping with that ramp on I can then get it down into the garage and crane it back off again. Got the first one in, but now I've changed my mind about where it's going. As it sits, the pipes would have to go across here, but obviously I'm going to have to lengthen those and go round the end to join the two. But then that leaves the out on this side, in the middle. I'd rather the out was against the wall where the electric is. So I think I want to have this one over here turned round, this way round, so it goes out on that side, and then I might, well, I don't know yet where I'll slot the ramp box. I might put the electrics there between those two cabinets. Not sure, but I think that probably works better than the other way around. And they're in. I've got a lot of cleanup to do. There's oily mess everywhere. It's now starting to rain. Everything's outside, but here they are. I did swap them round. So now the main one is on that side that the pipe's got to come to. So I think I'm probably going to put the pipes behind the cupboards and put the control unit there. Yeah, so I just got to do a little bit of pipe work going around to join the two up. That should be okay. So that's gone pretty well. So this mess here is my next problem. I have none of the 24 volt control panel whatsoever. That's all been chopped off. And all I have down here is the pump and the motor, which I've just taken off. So there's a solenoid on the side of the pump on the other side to control it going down, that's 24 volt, and there's a solenoid here for the air locks, that's 24 volt. So I'll need to come up with something for that. But the motor is 3-phase. So I'm just coming up with a solution to that now. So here's the motor removed from the pump. It was wired up for 400 volt 3-phase. So these buzz bars were in series across here. I put them in parallel across there, which then changed it to star wiring, I think it is, which it makes it 240 volt 3-phase, which is where this comes in. This is a VFD. So that should convert from 240 volt single phase to 240 volt 3-phase. So I'm just wiring this in now, and then we'll do a bench test, see how it goes. Right, got that all wired in. So the 240 side in, the single phase and the 3-phase share the ground. And then we got the live and the neutral in there and the 3 phases out there. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay. Right, well. Hey! Okay. So you've got the speed measure there. So you can adjust the speed. Okay. Very good for a lathe, these. Because you can have good speed adjustments. But don't need that for what we're doing. But at least it works, so that's good news. So the next thing to sort out, I think, is the holder control panel. So obviously had a bit of a life, bit bent down there, and you sort that out, give it a good clean and a wash, and then I can start building the 24 volt controls back in and get the pump back in there. Well, pressure wash that off. I've beaten it back into shape. It looks a lot better than I thought it would actually. I don't think I need to paint that now. I've just knocked up a bit of aluminium from the top here, bolted that back in the original riv nuts that were in it. Couldn't bother to paint it, so I've just gone over it with a Scotch-Brite pad. I think that'll be okay. So I need to get some switch gear in here, and then I've got to get the 24 volt supply all sorted inside there, all my wires in, pump back in, etc, etc. It's all a bit of a mess, but new pipes were finished this morning, so I went and collected those, got them all in place. I've got to route them behind these cupboards and get the control box in there, but obviously I still need to put some electrics back in the control box, so I'll get on with that. Right, back with the wiring. So we got this 240 volt to 24 volt DC adapter from Amazon, 20 quid on that. So I'm supplying that with 240 over there. Then that is going to a couple of switches over here, one to control the airlock and one to control the down on the pump. So I know it all looks a bit of a mess and we've got these body connectors in, but for now I just want to get it together and prove out it all works, and then I can go back and tidy it up afterwards. Well, good news, bad news. 50 worked perfectly, ramp goes up, fine. One ramp goes up, other one doesn't yet, but it runs out of fluid because I haven't got enough hydraulic fluid in there by a long shot, so that one went up probably to there. But as you can see, it's still halfway up because that is that's as far as it wants to go down. for whatever reason. So it's stuck. Can't quite figure that one out. Well, good morning. I had to get the cars back in last night, the motorbikes and things, so still as it was. Oil's arrived this morning. I've got 5 litres of hydraulic oil in there. So you are currently on the ramp that's down. I'm going to press that button, see if this one goes up, and then hopefully you're going to go up and meet it. Hey, up you go! Just slowing down the motor speed, because you're getting a bit close to a Lotus thing that's on the wall. Slow you right down. Oh, I think that's it. I think you're all the way up. Right. That is both ramps all the way up. That's the more important question now is, are they going to come down? Let's see. I'm just going to disconnect this carabiner while we can. Get that out of the way, so hopefully the ramp will go all the way down. But they're up. They're definitely both up. Okay. Let's try down. Fingers crossed. Oh, yeah, for the locks. Okay. One lock's firing. This one is not. Is it on the lock? No. I've got a sticky one. Come on, lock. There you go. Right. Down would be good. Didn't move far. Okay. Right. That's as far down as you go. Oh dear. I'll come and get you with a ladder. Right, I think I've figured out the problem, hopefully. This ramp on this side is dropping down just to the lock and stopping, which then seems to stop the other one at the same time. This track that the airlock sits on was bent at the top, so I just hammered that back. Hopefully then that'll have enough, because I was a bit confused because this had previously worked. But obviously then I didn't have the ramp at full height, so I think it's because this top piece is bent. You can see the lock hit's still there and then misses. So, fingers crossed, that's going to fix it. Well, I apologise I didn't record as the Mini went up in the air, but I was just too nervous. But it worked perfectly. It's now so high up that when I'm in the pit, I can't even reach the underside of it. That has worked really well. Obviously for other cars with a bigger bonnet, it means I can still get it up plenty high enough that I can be stood in the pit and get underneath it. And it's an excellent working height now. So the wheel is, you know, at my chest height, perfect to take that off, work on the brakes and things. The Mini is tight on it. I mean, the handbrake's on, but I think the back wheel will just turn. It's leaning on it, but it'll turn. And on the sills, well, it is just wide enough to be on the ramp. But it's not going anywhere. The ramp's bolted down with 6 bolts per side into the floor. Pretty confident that's going to be all right. So, with that, I think we're done. It works. It's brilliant. It was a lot of effort to get it in and get it working, but I think that's going to make my life a lot easier. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.